Damn, fans of top quality DS RPGs are spoilt for choice at the moment. Now, in recent months, we've seen Etrian's Odyssey, The World Ends With You, Final Fantasy IV, and now, to add to that embarrassment of riches, we also get Dragon Quest Chapters of the Chosen, or Dragon Quest IV outside of Europe. Now, this was originally released on the NES back in 1990, but only in Japan and 2 years later in the States. And the 2001 PlayStation remake was only available in Japan, so European gamers can finally get their hands on the story in its shiny new DS incarnation. Probably the most interesting feature of Chapters of the Chosen is its unusual narrative structure. Instead of following one hero or party throughout the game, after a little prologue where you meet your hero character, there are 4 discrete adventures, each taking a few hours to complete, which follow the backstories of 4 of the 8 chosen who will make up the party led by the game's hero in the 5th and 6th chapters. And by the way, in this remake you can now manually control all party members in these chapters, which is nice. I really love this narrative structure as it gives the story and its characters a real depth, and it also helps break the game up naturally into manageable chunks and bring something a bit different to the genre. A potential downside of this for some gamers though is that you do spend a large section of the game returning to and playing at a lower level. A similar double-edged sword is that the proportional difficulty of encounters to your level doesn't seem to be that high, so for those of you who like the kind of gruelling and gritty challenge that brings sweat to your brow and tears to your eyes, this might feel a little bit easy. On the other hand, encounters are nice and speedy. So for most gamers, I'd say this is a pretty well-balanced game that offers enough challenge to keep you interested, but allows you to work through and enjoy the story at a pretty rapid pace, without having to save every 5 minutes for fear of imminent doom. And as you might expect from a Dragon Quest title, there's a lot to enjoy along the way. The story is fairly standard fantasy stuff, but while not groundbreaking, it's well written and charming. And there are some really nice flourishes, like some of the different regional dialects encountered in the various towns, and the occasional touch points between the different characters' stories, which gives the whole thing a feeling of coherence even before the main party is assembled towards the end of the game. The world is bright and colourful, and the artwork has been upgraded well, so it doesn't look out of date, but still has a slight old-school charm about it which really suits it. And the soundtrack, which has become a video game classic, has been ported well to the DS. There are a few little annoyances worth noting though. There are quite strong religious tones in this, which won't be to everyone's taste. For example, you have to go to the church to save your game and take various attendant blessings when you do so. Also, things like saving and buying things from the various shops have several extraneous bits of dialogue to scroll through every time, which quickly becomes tiresome, although generally the command interfaces are easy to navigate straight off. There's a certain amount of backtracking required, but this is somewhat mitigated by the fact that different things happen in the same location depending on whether it's night or day. So all in all, a very enjoyable game and a worthy addition to any serious RPG fan's library, but also accessible enough, thanks to its forgiving difficulty level and episodic structure, to be fun for everyone else too. This comes in at the top end of 4 stars.